So this is part 3 for Unit 1, Section 2. We're just going to continue where we left off in the previous video, and we're talking about signing names. So if you're talking about more than one person, you don't need to say this is this person and this person. You just point to two different locations. So for example, she is Jan, and then he is Hal. So, fingerspelling. How important is this thing? Fingerspelling, like handwriting, needs to be clear enough to be understood, but not every letter needs to be exactly right, so don't stress too much if it was a little bit imperfect. Fingerspell words fluidly instead of letter by letter. You're not a typewriter. Everybody has their own style. Just like you have your own style of handwriting, everybody's hands move differently and feel comfortable moving differently. Fingerspelling is typically used for proper nouns, so the names of people and places like cities, states, and stores, titles of movies and books, brand names, and also English words that don't have a sign, specific foods, clarification from one sign that has several meanings if you want the specific English word, technical terms, things like that. Let's see, I think that's all for that. Oh, glossing ASL. There's no way to write ASL. It's never been used because sign languages all over the world exist alongside spoken languages that have a written form. So as deaf people learn in school, they become fluent in their sign language in addition to the spoken language, typically just through reading and writing, although some people do lip read and speak. So it is also a challenge to show a 3D language on paper. Sign writing is a thing that exists. It attempts to write ASL. It's not really commonly used except for like researchers because deaf people have always relied on writing the spoken language that's used around them. They might modify it to fit more with how they sign, but they're still going to just write those words. In the US, they will sign ASL and write in English. In Canada, the same is true with ASL and English, except for Quebec, which has LSQ, which is Quebec Sign Language, and they would then write in French. And the same is true all over for different sign languages. But we do write in gloss. So gloss is a system that hasn't been invented to write signs using English. It was developed by ASL teachers and researchers. It does have limitations, but it's a quick way to write down signs. So knowing how to gloss is not required to learn ASL, but it might be a helpful tool if you continue studying it. So glossing deixis is the indexing. You write the sign. You write the word IX. If you know the gender, you can just write she or he instead. This is not formal gloss that I'm teaching you. But you would just write the word as you see it. If I sign, I'm going to write you, name, what, you. I'm going to write it in all capitals if I'm typing. And above that, I can draw the line for the W and put WH to show that I had my eyebrows down and I'm asking a WH question. So I'm stating any other facial expressions that go along with it. That is how to gloss in a brief summary. That's what it is. You might see signing written in all capital letters. That's what it is. It's translated into this system called gloss. Again, not necessary to know how to use it yourself, but in case you see it or it's helpful for you, we're going to be discussing it a little bit as we go through each lesson. So this is the end of the Section 2 videos.